I feel like more so than any game, football fans, they have a say-so in the outcome of that game. Like, we bring a vibe to the stadium, we get loud on third down, you can't audible, you false start. It's like we can influence this game probably more so than any other game. It's not like golf where you're telling the fans to be quiet. It's like, it's something else. I went to my first game in the Denver Stadium and I was in the back row, section 500 and something in the corner, and I lost my voice. I jumped up and down the entire time, waving my flag, and every third down, Joe Flacco's passes, incomplete, and it was just like, there's nothing like football in the world, and I love it. A few years ago, I went through a kind of traumatic situation where my life got turned completely upside down. At the time, I was using marijuana, like, excessively, and for years it never gave me a problem. I used to always smoke. I used to smoke to create music, to get creative. I used to think that smoking made me creative, so I smoked, started writing some music, stuff like that, like I always would. But I was at my cousin's house, and I kind of just spun out of control. I'm not even really sure exactly what was going on in my mind, because I kind of lost it. And then I started thinking I could talk to people in my head. I started screaming. It was crazy. The ambulance had to come get me. Then they realized something was wrong with me, and they put me in the hospital. And that's when they did all the tests and the evaluations.
And I knew I wasn't gonna be able to smoke anymore, and I was devastated because I felt like I wasn't gonna be able to create.
And then I got out the hospital. I stopped smoking weed, and for about 8 to 10 months, I just went off the deep end. I lost my passion for life. I lost my passion for trying to pursue a career, because the only career I really wanted was something that had to do with music. I almost lost my passion for my wife. It was just like I didn't really get any fulfillment out of anything for a long time, but it was because I was depressed. But the only thing that I still got some kind of fulfillment from was football. Was watching the NFL, was watching the Broncos. And I'm like, I'm not one of those casual fans. Like, I was heavy into the Broncos country message boards. I'm scouting players in the off season. I'm watching just people talk about football. So my life was kind of like, everything sucks except the fact that I still get a lot of enjoyment out of football. So after being depressed for about 8 months, the thing that made me snap out of my depression was Lil Wayne, really. Lil Wayne made a remix to a song by Wiz Khalifa called Black and Yellow. And it was right when the Packers were playing the Steelers in the Super Bowl, and he made a remix called Green and Yellow. And it was a song about the Green Bay Packers to fire up the fans or whatever else. And I was like, all of a sudden I was inspired. I was like, you know what? I haven't had anything to talk about, but I feel like I can write a song right now all of a sudden. I want to make a song about the Broncos called Blue and Orange, to fire up our fans for next season, because we had kind of coming off a miserable season, one of the worst seasons we had in a long time. And I made this song, Blue and Orange. It got over 100,000 views on YouTube, like 30,000 like within like the first week. A ton of players started hitting me up on Twitter, and I had just gotten to Twitter, and they started saying like, oh my God, this is my song, and we listened to this in the locker room, or telling other players to check it out. And then a lot of fans saying how much they loved it, and I was just like, wow, I never felt so good or so high in my life, not off any drug, not off anything. So when that happened, it kind of just snapped me right out of my funk, and all of a sudden I was like, you know what, I want to make another song about the Broncos. And then I made another song about the Broncos, and then I made another one and another one. And now my life is just so different. I got fans now, I get fan mail. Like, I just went to Denver, and my fans actually paid for me to go watch my first home game for the home opener against the Ravens, and I shot a video out there. And they just showed me so much love, and I really feel like what I'm doing now has a purpose. I feel blessed. I feel like I'm doing something that matters. I feel like I have a clear vision of where I want to go in life, and I'd have to say that's probably my football story. But I don't think it's over. I think there's still a lot more chapters to be written in my football story. But so far my story is pretty good.